Hi everyone, I'm Drea and I'm the director of Dance Masala Bollywood Dance Company. I am also a huge fan of Dr. Kirk Honda and psychology in Seattle, and I love his YouTube reaction videos, and I thought it would be a great idea for us to create one of our own. One thing that a lot of people who are coming to Dance Masala get a little bit confused by or struggle to understand are the differences between our levels. And I would love to take this opportunity to shed some light on those differences and create more understanding in our community through this reaction video. Okay, everybody, hopefully you can see on the screen right now that I am looking at Mugdha's level 1 choreography for this next term. So I'm going to start watching it now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be kind of taking note on this screen of the number of unique hand movements for the choreography, how many footworks are in the choreography, and then we're going to talk about repetitions. So in a level 1 routine at Dance Masala, there should be a high level of repetition. There should be moves that go from the right side and moves that go from the left side. That's designed to build up the skill level of our beginner dancers. The repetition might be the whole step as well. This is all part of the design of the course in order to make sure that beginner dancers walk in without knowing a set of techniques and walk out with a whole bunch of new techniques. We do occasionally use the same techniques again and again in level 1 routines, but we also make sure that we add some spicy new techniques. In this last little corner at the bottom, I'm going to be counting the number of complex movements and isolations. So what are complex movements? The first thing that I would define as complex movements are movements that go across the midline. So as soon as you go across the midline, that can present as something that's confusing for some people. It's just a normal thing. It might be a faster count. It might be a complex bit of musicality, like da-da-da-da-da-da. And then when we talk about isolation, typically they are hip movements, chest movements, shoulder movements, and neck movements, okay? Usually we don't say a hand isolation, although we do sometimes do that as well. All right, so let's start watching it. Here we go. So we've got our first movement, a little pickup, and we've got our first hand movement as well. Okay, it's a new foot movement, a new hand movement. There's another new hand movement, another new foot movement, another new hand movement. It's a hip isolation, we love that. And it's a repetition. A new foot movement, 2 new hand movements, a repetition, and another repetition. How wonderful is that? New hand movements, another new hand movement, and actually it was a new foot movement, a repetition. So it's getting a bit fast, isn't it? So you might notice the pace at which I'm recording things, and you might notice that that pace and that tempo is also something that's going to present itself as a challenge for level 1s. All right, already it's the very beginning of the routine. I actually don't have the time bar on this video, but I think we're in the first 30 seconds and we have a significant amount of things. So we've got at least 8 unique hand movements, 5 different footworks, and 4 repetitions, which is really lovely. She's gone right and left and she's repeated this like little in-between motion, okay? We're gonna keep watching it. And I think she just did sneak in 1 complex movement of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that sort of rotation and that control in what we call an extension of our spine, an extension of our cervical spine is a unique thing. It also means that you have to connect with your thoracic spine, connect with your chest. It is a complex movement. So that's our repeat, which is wonderful. A little shoulder isolation. I'm going to add it to our isolations. Okay, this one is another complex movement because even though Mugdha, a dancer with classical training, just did it with a lot of ease, that is a graceful movement and it's a little complex as well. So let's add that to our checklist. Okay, we're on to the chorus. So this is probably where we would aim in level 1 to hit by week 3. Okay, so we've got a new foot movement, and we've got a repeat foot movement, but a new hand movement, and duck-a-duck. I mean, it is a hand movement, but I'm not going to count it because I don't think it's complex enough, patting your chest. It's something that we can all do, so I'm not actually even going to count it in our list. So we've got a complex movement going across and another complex movement going across. We've got a repetition that's about to happen. So let's see where things change. And that's also something that's really important. When you're in level 1, the expectation of understanding music is usually for things to be in 4s and 8s. When we have something that it changes erratically, that sort of musicality and that understanding is, again, a technique that you can develop in level 1. So let's watch it and let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, change, 2, 3, 4, change, 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 2, 3, 4, change, 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 down, up. And then we're once again introducing a new step. So this is rocking forward and back, a bit of a weight change with these new arms, which are actually a shoulder isolation as well. And we did have one repeat in there. She did certain things in a repetition, but they were right and then they were left. So. Okay, this is a significant section of repeat. A new step, a new hand, and a repeat of this whole section. So I'm going to count it as 2. But if you notice, Sneaky Mugda, she did that whole section now from the right side to the left side. And this is such a typical classical dancer. Like a classical dancer will teach a whole section which is on the right and then teach it on the left, because that is classical Indian dance training. You have to be able to do it on the right and do it on the left. And that's an amazing skill to build in level 1. Okay, and that's it for our level 1 routine. What we just saw is probably what we would cover in weeks 1 to 3, not including the technique week. In the choreography that we're planning to only cover in weeks 1 to 3, we have 11 unique hand movements. We have approximately 8, but maybe I did lose track, 8 completely unique, so completely different, across and out, a kind of pivot, foot movements. I think around 11 repetitions, and we have about 7 complex movements. And as I noted as we were watching that, you also had some challenges in terms of the tempo, so how fast the music is, and some challenges according to like the musicality of something going from 4, 4, 2, 6, and 2, you know, and then repeating everything over on the right side, which is a mind melt in and of itself. So I hope this adds a little texture and understanding to our level 1 routine, and how thoughtful we are in creating and crafting these level 1 routines, and how they're really designed for dancers to revisit level 1 a few times and learn new movement. We generally at Dance Masala, due to a high level of teaching and excellent support, expect our dancers to try and achieve level 1 with about a 90% success rate, because we feel if 90% of people are getting it, or if people are getting it 90% of the time, that vibe is really high and everyone feels super motivated and excited to continue in the class. Level 1 is not designed for you to do one term and progress to level 2, because if that were the case, we would have 20 levels. That's it for my level 1 videos and critique. I hope you really got a lot out of it. I know I did. I've been planning to do a video like this for a really long time. I'm super excited to share with you. So please enjoy and do tune in for the next one. Let me know if you want to see a full level 1 routine covered by me in this way, and I will surely do it.